The New Orleans Saints select Cameron Jordan.
He really should have been a tight end. He just likes hitting people.
Down again. Cameron Jordan. He's taken down Cam Jordan again. And your best player takes over when you need it the most.
If you look at the last 11 years of my career, after I earned the right to play on third down, you go from rookie year having 1 sack to where I'm at now. I just needed opportunity.
It's been about 130 sacks in the NFL since we saw that young man get drafted, and here he is. The great Cam Jordan is in our studio.
That has to be AI. Nobody can make that number of good plays over the course of that many years, right?
You see, like, over 15 years, it's probably easy to put that little, 5-second clip together.
Schefter is sitting there with the phone. He broke the news about Harbaugh last night. He's looking to break more news. Are you here to announce something?
Heck yeah, I'm announcing that here I am on set with you guys.
Okay, fair enough.
And, and I'm always overly blessed, highly favored. My cup runneth over.
All the things.
So what else could we be talking about?
Okay, fair enough.
Right.
If we'll leave it there, we'll be delighted to leave it there. Okay, I want to get into a million different things while we have you here. Mm-hmm. Let's start with your team.
Yeah.
Going into last year's draft, there was so much talk about Tyler Shough. A lot of the guys who work with us on our draft coverage, particularly Louis Riddick, super high on him. Mm-hmm. I think we saw why towards the end of the season. What do you see in your young quarterback?
What did you see in my young quarterback? I mean, you saw the way he turned it on. If had you asked me this in training camp, I'd be like, oh, he needs some time to cook. Mm-hmm. And we did. He took over the last 9 games and went 5-4 or whatever that ratio was. But in those games, you saw something that could excite you. You saw something that could excite a fan base. You saw him be able to be elusive, able to turn corners. He's faster than he looks. Mm-hmm. Man.
Yeah, go expound on that a little bit.
Say what you mean by that, Cam?
I like the way you're talking on this.
We had
stage.
Spencer Rattler. You knew he had shifty, and then you had Tyler, and I was like, hey man, he might be more of a pocket passer.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You know what I'm saying?
When I saw him,
6'5", built like Dan.
We know what that means.
You understand that he had arm talent. He could read the right reads. And then he just progressed. And every game he got better. And every game he got even better. And you're like, dang, he's going to slow down. And he got better. And then he showed us in the Atlanta Falcons game, he threw an interception. And I was like, dang, he might get rattled. No. The next drive on down. Hey, I'll score it. Don't worry, I'll score it myself.
Mm. So look to the future, looking pretty bright in New Orleans now. Mm-hmm. Some young pieces, young coach, young quarterback, and away you guys go forward. Let's put you to work here as an analyst. You played a lot of the playoff teams this year. We start with Buffalo. You played against him this year, against Josh this year. You had a sack in a game in which the Bills won. We've been talking a lot this morning about him turning into Superman. Dan, give Cam the scouting report that you gave us for how he goes into Denver and wins this game.
Yeah, I've said backs and tight ends, that's a huge part of their pass game, right? But then I think it's if you're going to play man coverage against them, you got to know as a defense, like he's going to take off with his legs. So in those situations too, third downs, red zone, you guys know that as well from a defensive line perspective. So just in that realm, like what's the biggest challenge with dealing with Josh in those got to be aware of his leg situations?
Absolutely. You know where he wants to escape. He wants to escape up the middle. He wants to get through, and, if he doesn't get to his proper reads, he's going to take off. He's big enough to do so. He's strong enough. He's fast enough. Everybody knows the tale that is Josh Allen, right? But you also have the Broncos' defensive line. You've got Cooper. You've got Benito. You've got, Zach in the middle. You've got Malcolm Roach. You've got all these guys. So you let the big guys do what the big guys do. What we say is the big guy's going to have to take care of the quarterback. So it may not be as fun in the middle. No, I need a whole lot of power. I need a whole lot of press from our big fellas in the middle. And on the edges, you let the edges do. You let Nick Benito turn that edge. You let Coop go ahead and bend that corner, and you let him go after him. That's where you take advantage. When you have the middle guys that understand, hey, I'm sorry, you don't get a swim move to say. You don't get I don't want to see a swipe. You say, hey, big fella, wipe your nose, and all I got for you is straight grit and snot. It's one of those games for you.
It's a grit and snot game. The other AFC game will feature a young core. Here's Josh Allen trying to finally put the crowning achievement on his career.
Right.
Then we have the young star in Drake Maye emerging, another team that you played against this year. So tell me what it's like to be on the field with him. Give us the report on Drake Maye as he gets set to go up against another really good defense in Houston.
Right. And you could say Drake Maye, DDD, double DM is what he's been called at this point, right? Like Drake Maye.
Yeah.
How do you nickname yourself Drake Maye? Who nicknamed him his own name? Okay, so either way, we know what he brings to the table, bro. He's turned into lights out.
Yeah.
And he has to stay that way if he's going to have a chance against the Houston Texans defense. In my mind, it's going to be defense versus defense, not so much offense versus offense. Because the way we saw the Texans defense take over last game, You're going to have to be Superman. That's who's going to have to be Superman.
And I think Drake Maye has the ability to. He was tough last game. There were moments where it obviously dipped, but you could still see some of the flashes that have him in the MVP conversation. I do expect Vrabel to be on his game, but more importantly, I do expect Drake Maye to have a bigger game than we're probably anticipating, and his legs to be a factor as well.
That was also his
Sheldon
first
Rankins
playoff game.
touchdowns.
That was his first playoff game, right? Like he stepped out there for the first time under the lights and did what he did.
Lights
and I
brighter.
think he learned from that.
And he played way better at the end of the game than he did at the beginning.
First, these guys wanted to talk to you. Cam, come with me over here.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the Bussin Boys wanted to have a word with you. We have
I got your
something
back,
a little
Cam.
special
Hey,
planned
it is
for
what
you.
it is.
Know that.
First of all, as you guys say hello to your
'cause I
friends
don't.
here, we have a look at the headshots over the years. Is that what we have? Take a look at this. Gentlemen, can we get a quick read on the Cam Jordan headshots
here?
over the many years? So you can stand right here outside of me. Take a look at the headshots. Which Cam Jordan is it that we like the best? What do you think?
You got to look at 2019 Cam Jordan here, and there's got to be immense respect for the amount of wax that took place in that mustache.
No doubt.
It is absolutely beautiful. It takes you back in time into the 20s. It's absolutely amazing.
In the meantime, we have something that we found a little bit interesting here, right? Something that I think you'd be particularly interested in hearing, Taylor. Cam was talking in another place. He, of course, a great defensive lineman. You, of course, a great offensive lineman. Let's hear this all together, shall we?
A guy who ain't seen his toes in 10 years, you're telling me I can't beat him off the edge? Stop. There's the offensive linemen that they swear are athletic, and they are athletic. You're not. No, you're not.
Did you always think that they were some of the best athletes at that size to be that nimble?
Hey, that offensive lineman has really good feet compared to who? The other fat ones.
Lewan, your thoughts?
Well, now
you know, my
Lewan. Big, he's the old lineman at all.
There's a lot of extra medium gentlemen out there that don't have a voice or a platform to stand on. And I thought to myself, okay, Arizona cat, I'm an Arizona cat.
Absolutely.
This individual goes to Cal, great educational school, so my boy's got to be smart. So then I start to worry about his mental prowess. Is he going to be okay? He comes up, my boy Trent Williams.
That was crazy.
That
Trent Williams stuff.
Crazy.
I called him a dog.
And I thought, I thought to myself, like, how could I possibly prove that offensive linemen are athletes as well? And then it struck me. We have a combine that takes place every single year to display athletic ability.
Hell yeah.
So I had a little video put up, and the only person I could think of, obviously in my own story, is myself, 287 pounds, Cam Jordan. All right, we're talking about the same exact 10-yard split between me and Cam Jordan, and I'm 22 pounds heavier. That tan is paid for, by the way. 31-inch vertical by him, 30.5 by me. 22 pounds more. Now, hey, broad jump, that's nasty.
Yeah.
9'9" broad jump. We had the same exact broad jump. If we're going to talk about athletic ability, my boy has 132 sacks, no doubt. He's an absolute stud. First ballot Hall of Famer. I love it.
Did you guys play?
But athletically, I'm probably not even top 5. And this man is coming at the boys. We're the same.
Ish.
Whoa,
you saw every metric of mine was better.
Broad jump.
Ish. Oh, there we go, broad jump.
Our 10-yard split.
You didn't take. Did you take the 5-5? You didn't.
That was that got lost.
Right.
They didn't have
everything explosive. Got it. It was 2011.
But I also took out the bench press where I did 5 more reps. So it's all good.
Absolutely, because that's what we need metrics of. We need metrics of everything. And I don't say that you're not athletic.
Hold on now.
I said you weren't an athlete. There's a difference. Athlete means, hey, when we go pick up ball, right? You're not the first one getting picked. I am. But like when we think about pickleball or tennis, Trent Williams is a dog.
He's playing beyond the arc, he can windmill dunk.
I'd love to see that happen.
He's playing.
But that being said,
it might not happen anymore.
In my defense, right? This is put out there. In my defense, when you're a big kid, right? 10 years old, 11 years old, you're playing pee-wee, you're a little butterball. Guess what position they put you at?
Offensive line.
Okay. So, and when you're a failed basketball player or you're a tight end that eats too much, guess where they put you?
Offensive line.
Okay. So when you lose your athleticism, where do they put you? Offensive line. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Come back with some heat.
Right.
Buddy, he made a couple good points.
He's talking about a couple of guys that like a little extra portions in their life. That's all we're talking about.
And that's what I'm saying. When them calves and the ankles ratio start matching, guess where you end up?
Jordan in here. Let's flash back to December 28th just to rub more in the wound of Taylor Lewan. This is Cam Ward for the Titans back to throw, and this is Cam Jordan taking care of business. We got a strip sack.
No, it's not a strip sack. For some odd reason, it was just a forced fumble. He goes to throw the ball, right, throwing motion, ball down. So that's a strip sack.
You didn't strip nothing.
The hate is real. It's all right.
If you had an offensive lineman background, would you scoop the fumble up?
Yeah, you got to get on that ball immediately. That's dive on it and pray to God no one saw it.
Yeah, to put that as forced fumble because he was able to pick up the ball and throw it twice in the same play. Come on.
Do we got tape of you two playing?
No, listen, that's past, brother.
I can't help you can't listen, but you can't hear.
If there is, I say I'm on the right side, which now I'm uncomfortable. But put me back on the left side, whoever his accomplice was over there, getting worked.
Jack Conklin, he handled it.
Let's dive into the football that's going on here. We'll give you Cam's accolades as though you need them. Drafted into the league in 2011, 8 Pro Bowls in 15 years, 132 sacks, second only to Von Miller since he came into the league. And in 15 years, he's missed only 2 games, playing 243 out of a possible 245. So when it comes to knowing what he's talking about, this gentleman most certainly does. I want to dive into the NFC games this year. You played against a few of these teams here. Let's talk about the Bears and the Rams here, and we'll start with the cold. I think fans, has always been my theory, fans are fascinated by cold games. This is going to be super cold. The Rams obviously are coming from Los Angeles.
Right.
How much of a factor do you think the weather on a Sunday night is going to be in the game in Chicago?
Now, initially, I was like, man, Matt Stafford played in the NFC, in that cold division up there for 12 years, 13 years. But that's not Kyron Williams. That's not Puka Nacua.
Right.
That's Devontae can play anywhere. He played in Green Bay.
Played in Green Bay. Yep.
I'm looking at team's entirety here. Maybe it does affect them. It is cold, and when it's cold, it gets miserable. That is not real football, no matter what some of the world may think. Cold football is not the best football.
You'll get there when you're sitting on the couch after your days are over. You're like, this is football weather right here, knowing that you're warm.
Knowing that you're warm, drinking a cold one, and they're freezing on the inside. It's miserable football is what that is.
Let me show you C10 here, just to give you a sense of just what we're talking about. Kickoff temperature, 18 degrees, feels like 4. Winds will be 15 miles an hour, gusting to 25. The Rams have not played a playoff game with a temperature under 20 degrees since the 1976 conference championship game, and Matthew Stafford has never played in the game where the kickoff, where the temperature was below 20 degrees at kickoff. So, Dan Orlovsky, how much of a factor in this game? You know Stafford better than anybody. That Rams team, they want to score 50 points in this game against a Bears defense that is susceptible to that. How much of a factor is the weather?
No, it's a significant factor. It's significant for everybody and how they handle it, mainly the Los Angeles Rams. Stafford's going to have a comfort level in doing it. Now, he is not 32 like he was doing it years ago. He's 37, 38 years old in that cold. But to Cam's point, like how the running backs carry the football, how the hits, I always thought for the hits, like not only giving them, but taking hits in those elements are the real thing. So I don't truly believe that it's going to have a negative impact on Stafford's ability to throw the ball, but hanging in the pocket, willing to stand there and take some of those shots, giving the ball to playmakers on the perimeter. And I think whatever team handles the cold, I think it gets so cold sometimes you can't even think, let alone try to go execute at an incredibly high level. So who can handle it the best is certainly going to be in an advantageous situation.
He also played against the Bears this year. A lot of us have marveled at Caleb Williams. Give us the scouting report. He's had some moments where you scratch your head, and then he's had some moments where you say, I'm not sure I've ever seen anyone do what he just did, and they tend to come late in critical games and critical spots. Give us the scouting report.
He heats up as the game gets going. He finds his flow in the game. He extends these plays with his legs. He always becomes a better passer on the scramble with the game on the line. That dot that he had this last playoff game on the sideline,
hitting the Jordan symbol.
Man, I say that if there's clutch, there it is. I mean, he's shown that he's on the cusp of the next. I'm just gonna say the next because I hate labeling a young quarterback like, oh, he's the next great. Don't do that yet. But he's on the cusp.
One.
Exactly. On the next one, sure.
Right? I mean, Caleb, I feel like we are seeing a superstar being born right before our eyes. I've heard a lot of nitpicking of him over the course of the season, and I've sort of fought back on it. And I grant you, I mean, he's had some first halves where you find yourself saying, what are we doing here?
Last week.
And then that one and the first Green Bay game and a few other spots this year.
And all of the games.
Every game. You're like,
every game you walk into and you're like, Caleb Williams, when he sits back in the pocket, steps up, he's got a clean pocket, and he throws the ball and just sails out of nowhere. And then we have an example example, like this Packers game where it's 4th and 8, and he's literally hitting the Jordan symbol while he's dotting the ball perfectly. The best thing, in my opinion, that's happened to Caleb Williams this year is his connection with Colston Loveland. We saw it in that Packers game.
Michigan guy.
When he got into a situation where it was like, I'm a little off on my stationary throws, I'm just going to start feeding Loveland over and over again. And he was making catch after catch. He had over 100 yards receiving. So having that outlet with the various ups and downs has helped him a lot, and it's going to help him this week.
Dan, the Rams defense, which I think we generally think of as very good, has been a little bit vulnerable in the last portion of the season. They haven't looked great.
They've been terrible.
Okay, they've been terrible.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Just being honest, they've been terrible. Last week, there was dudes wide open. You watch defenders completely turned inside out, around, run into the wrong spot. So that's a huge concern of mine is like, I know that the Rams want to score 50 against the Bears. I think the Bears want to try and score 50 against the Rams. They were bad last week, not only in their pass defense, but how many times are we going to let Bryce Young get outside the pocket? So I think a huge thing for Saturday night is like, do the Rams defensively have some clue of where they're supposed to be versus Ben Johnson's kind of designs of one? If they don't, I think the Bears are capable of scoring 30 or 40 if Caleb's hot.
Came here because you played against those two teams as well, so you know San Francisco, you know Seattle, you know these.
Yeah, well, at this point, who didn't the Saints play early on the season? Like, we had a young quarterback. Could we maybe build some confidence? No, we hit out of our 7 first games, it was 5 of them are in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Golly.
And then you got hot towards the end of the year, so it'll work that well. Next
towards
year
the end
will
of
be
the
your
year,
season.
when we built some confidence.
This year is for these guys. A lot of people look at the Seahawks and they say, can Sam Darnold do it? I mean, their defense obviously is elite and outstanding, and they wonder if Sam Darnold needs to win the game for them, is he ready to do that? Give us what it's like to be on the field against him. What's the scouting report on Sam Darnold?
I mean, the last couple of years, Sam Darnold has changed the narrative about him. And this is going to be the cherry on top. This is okay, he can be that guy. Because to this point, you say Sam Darnold, heck of a player in the regular season. The last 18 games.
Yep.
Now, can he do that in playoffs? But he has to prove it to me.
Will Compton, are you confident that if this game comes down to Sam Darnold being the reason the Seahawks win it, that he is ready for that?
Yeah, I think Sam Darnold gets his first playoff win this weekend. Like the Niners, as much against all odds, all year long, they've always been counted out of it. They took Brock Purdy from us for 10 weeks, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. The football gods took George Kittle from us this last weekend. It feels like it's just a matter of time before somebody gets an eyes, and to go into Seattle and do it against Seattle, that defense, the team that Darnold
Talk about that defensive line.
The team that Darnold has around him, I don't think Darnold's going to be in a spot where he has to force it at the end of the game. So I love Seattle in this game.
Yeah, I think with the emergence of the Seattle Seahawks' run game, it takes a lot of pressure off of Sam Darnold. And you look at the pass rush for the 49ers, they don't get home unless they're bringing multiple guys over and over again. Sam's going to have the ability to sit in the pocket, have enough time to give it to JSN, some other outlets. I think this is a game that, as long as they don't come out completely rusty after a bye week, this is a game they win, and Kyle Shanahan, this beautiful story.
There's 2 quarterbacks left in the playoffs that basically have to not lose the game. C.J. Stroud, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold wins this game if we don't talk about Sam Darnold. Go score 17 points and they'll win. Cam talked about it. This Seattle defense is Seattle and Houston's defenses. They're ridiculous, and they all started their defensive lines. And so I think as long as Sam Darnold doesn't have a catastrophic evening where he tries to do too much, they'll be completely fine. That should be the story of if they win the NFC Championship game for him, and if Houston wins the AFC Championship game for C.J. Stroud and the Texans.
Just ride their defense.
Don't lose the game. If those quarterbacks don't lose games with sacks, sack fumbles, turnovers, just head-scratching plays where you give teams points or you take points off the boards, their defenses are ridiculous. Those defenses are not going to give up more than 20 in these playoffs.